Welcome to Gutter Trash, episode 304, Gravy. My name is Eric.
I am Jason.
Hello, Jason.
Good evening, sir.
Good eventide to you.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm alright.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
No complaints, really.
I suppose that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you?
Complaints.
Right. Would you like to air them here?
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the same as they've been.
Right.
Yeah.
Even after watching Gravy?
Yeah, Gravy, did not make any sort of, change in my life.
Really?
Positively or negatively.
I don't think I'll ever be the same.
Well then. So, okay. I mean, I guess technically I'll never be the same, because now I have this movie stored in my brain.
Right.
Having watched it, and now know of its existence and plot.
See? Exactly. Yeah, you couldn't have said that before. You would have been lying.
It's true. However, other than us about to talk about it, I can't say that it will affect my life in any other way, positively or negatively.
Yeah.
It is just a thing that happened for an hour and a half.
Right. Was it? It was an hour and a half?
I don't know. I'm
Thereabouts.
guessing.
Yeah, thereabouts. Yeah.
It was about a little after 8 when we started watching it, and other than a small break in the middle, about an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm. Gravy.
It is a sauce that you put on top of mostly meat.
Or biscuits.
Or biscuits. You can do it on biscuits too, sure. But traditionally, it is mostly the au jus from meat that you maybe mix with a little bit of flour and water, and you pour it over said meat. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or if you're Italian, sometimes it's just marinara sauce.
Right. Have you had that as marinara?
I've had marinara sauce.
Oh, they call that gravy?
Some Italians do. Yes.
I did not know that.
You've never seen like The Godfather or anything like that? I know you have.
I've seen
show.
The Godfather. I wouldn't call myself like a Godfather fan.
Well, sure, but they say, "Hey, would you like some gravy on this?" And then you're like, "What the hell are they talking about?
Right.
Gravy on spaghetti?"
Yeah,
they just mean spaghetti sauce.
Maybe they're like Canadian Italian.
It could be that too.
Yeah. Because they do like gravy on a lot of weird things.
Yeah. Like poutine.
Mm-hmm. Poutine.
It's like French fries with gravy and
cheese curds.
Yeah.
I've had it before.
Yeah.
I think it is fish gravy or chicken gravy.
Okay.
And it has a fishy taste. When I had it, it did. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I think I had it at a place that served fish and chips.
Okay.
I think that's what we had.
All right.
That was back when I was eating fish.
That does not sound appealing to me.
It probably was fish gravy.
Whatsoever. The term fish gravy it repulses me.
Right.
Yeah. I don't like fish.
Right. Oh, you don't?
I do not.
Okay.
I'm not a seafood guy.
Yeah.
I like shrimp.
I know you eat the shrimp.
I do eat shrimp and then lobster and crab. Pretty much the crustaceans. Mm-hmm. Some oysters occasionally.
So if it had a hard shell, you're okay with destroying
for the most part, yeah.
Right,
yeah. But yeah, like actual fish, like bass or salmon. No, thank you.
Interesting.
Yeah. Although I did once have really good fish. My parents went to Chicago, and we visited like some old friends of my dad's. And the guy had just gone fishing, and so it was like fresh, straight from the lake, and I believe it was catfish. And he grilled it up, and honestly, it tasted like steak.
Wow, really?
And it was pretty amazing.
Wow, the bovine sea creatures.
Right? And that was the only time that I've ever enjoyed fish.
Wow.
Yep. It's never been like that since. And so now I just avoid it because it's awful.
Yeah, okay.
And my mom eats fish every single time I go to her house for dinner.
She loves it.
She does. And my ex-girlfriend also would eat fish quite regularly whenever we would have dinner together. It's just a stinky, horrible thing that full of bones that could kill you.
Are you talking about your ex-girlfriend?
Yep.
Gravy!
Gravy! It's not true. I still love you, baby.
Oh. Hey, I have no opinion one way or the other. I was just trying to make a dumb joke.
It was fun. I liked it. It was a good joke. Hey, speaking of jokes, this movie had a couple.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. This was a horror comedy.
Yes, it was.
Maybe even a comedy horror.
I would probably say more comedy than horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was pretty violent and gratuitously bloody.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because sometimes you can get a horror comedy that focuses more on the horror or more on the comedy, and kind of forgets about the horror for a while.
This was a good balance.
It was a very good balance, I think.
No, before we watched this, I thought you said it was a CGI movie.
No.
What did you say it was?
I didn't say anything about this movie other than last week when I said this was the movie we were going to watch.
I know we were walking up your sidewalk and you were like, "Are you ready to watch a CGI movie or something?"
No, I was talking about the Peanuts movie.
The Peanuts movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
because we got out of your car and we were grabbing our food.
Right.
And all of a sudden, like, you grabbed a random bag of peanuts that you had, apparently.
Yeah, it was like, I took it to the comic show I did yesterday and I didn't end up eating them.
Okay.
So I just had it, like, in my, like, little change area of the car.
Okay.
Yeah, and I grabbed the peanuts. I was like, oh, this will be good on my Chinese food.
Right, yeah.
And
you were like, oh, peanuts. And I said, hey, you looking forward to that movie?
I thought you were talking about the movie we were just about to start watching.
No, I was talking about Peanuts, the movie.
There's one coming out?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Oh, yes. And it's a CG animated movie.
Ah, see, now it's all coming together.
There we go. All right. Sorry for...
Like, this movie started, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. There's, like, a live-action intro to this CGI movie. I've seen vice versa.
Sure.
You know, but... And then, like, it just keeps going, and I was like, maybe he's referring to the special effects. Maybe he's read that the special effects are particularly CGI, lame effects. And I just kept watching the movie, waiting for CGI elements, and I was like, maybe Eric rented the wrong movie called Gravy. He thought he was renting Pixar's Gravy.
What would Pixar's Gravy be?
It would be like a bowl of talking gravy that once it's inside your body, it talks to all the other organs and like food, refuse and
Okay.
and like and like it tries to make its way out your anus into the world of the toilet so it can meet up with its family of gravy who's been flushed down another toilet.
Sure.
Yeah.
That sounds awful and gross. I would have hoped that would have been a love story about him looking for his mashed potatoes.
Oh, well, okay. Well, that was the first draft. I'm sure, when they decided to do Up, it was like about that old man having his erection, and they're like, because we designed the character and he's got this flaccid, old, wrinkly, octogenarian penis, and we want to get it up. And they're like, yeah, I like the design, but, kids, And they added the balloon and the Boy Scout, and they're like, we definitely have to get rid of the erection of the Boy Scouts in the movie. Or it's going to get a PG-13 for sure. And then,
funny enough that first 5 minutes that makes everybody cry was still in the movie.
Right, yeah. Some things they could leave in, and it still plays the same. But this was not an animated film.
It was not. I'm sorry for misleading you.
I was pretty confused for about 45 minutes. But it is a horror comedy. It's a new movie too, right?
Fairly new.
Like
yeah.
last year or this year?
This year.
This
I
year?
believe.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So the basic premise of the movie is it is about three cannibals who take over a Mexican restaurant, and they're going to eat all the people inside.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That is the basic premise of the movie. Yeah, it's like an after hours sort of deal where, you know, like they're closing up and they're like the last customers and they like secure the doors in a way where no one can escape and then shit happens.
Shit does happen. So we get introduced to our cast of characters, the employees of this restaurant and its manager and our three cannibals who I'm gonna say this, most of them pretty likable.
The cannibals?
All of the characters, for real.
I'd say half of them. I'd say a good half of I thought were likable characters.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, there's one character who's just not likable at all. And there's one character who I would say is more pathetic than anything else.
Right. But even the pathetic one, I wasn't like rooting for him.
I was not rooting for him at all. But it was just sort of like, I didn't even really feel bad for him when spoiler, he meets his untimely demise.
Yeah, he makes it quite a ways too.
He does.
You think he's? I mean, he. There's a lot of pitfalls that he gets through, and unfortunately. But no, like, even the cannibals, I only maybe kind of liked one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
I like two of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The dudes?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
The brothers, yeah. And it may just be because I just really like those actors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I recognized, like, kind of the leader guy. I forget his name.
The character's name?
The character, yeah. He's like the one that had the crazy girlfriend.
Right. I don't remember his name at all.
It's just one of the brothers.
Yeah. I remember his real name.
Yeah.
Is Jimmy Simpson.
Yeah, okay.
He is probably best known as one of the McPoyle brothers from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, right. That brings up a good point.
Uh-huh.
The other brother?
Uh-huh.
He was doing a
Charlie Day impression?
the entire film.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why is that?
I don't know. Maybe they wanted Charlie Day?
I would imagine that would have been better.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like, I really like that actor. But
he was funny,
Yeah.
but I think I felt like I was getting the poor man's Charlie Day the entire film because he sounded like him, he looked like him, and he had the same mannerisms.
Yep.
And it kind of took me out of it a little bit.
I totally agree with you on that. Like I said, I do like that actor. I've seen him in a bunch of stuff.
Is he always Charlie Day-ish?
He is not always Charlie Day-ish.
Okay, that's weird then.
Yeah, so it makes me think that maybe they wanted Charlie Day, like, a lot.
Right. Well, then that would be kind of impressive if he's like, well, I'm going to become Charlie Day.
Right?
You know, like if Charlie Day was like, I just wouldn't work in this film.
Right.
Like that would maybe make it okay with me, but other than that, I was kind of off put by his performance.
It's a little much. Who knows? Maybe they even did have Charlie Day for a while, and then they had to drop out of it or something. I don't know.
Right.
But I mean, the guy is doing, and I gotta admit, it's a dead-on Charlie Day.
It's a really good, there was a couple different times in the movie I was like, well, maybe this is Charlie Day. Maybe he just looks a little different.
Right.
But yeah, no, he was really funny though. Like some of his line delivery was just great.
Yeah.
Like some of there's a lot of like late 80s, early 90s like music and comedic references in this movie.
Yeah.
And you know, growing up in that time period, I appreciate that.
Sure.
And so like I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah. The movie was written and directed by James Roday, who is the star of the television show Psych.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Who appears at the end of the movie.
Oh, as one of the EMTs?
Yes.
Okay.
And the other EMT was his co-star on Psych.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. See, I've never really watched Psych, so I didn't recognize him. Yeah.
I know you've seen a couple episodes.
I've seen the Twin Peaks one with you.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe it.
I think I've probably been watching it when you've been
Yeah,
over.
yeah. Yeah, no, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like, I still, like, there's some parts I don't really get, I don't want to spoil the ending, but I don't really get the ending with, the lady that kind of escapes the whole madness thing.
Uh-huh.
How she's, like, now she's like a spy or something. Like,
I think she's,
just stalking them.
stalking, you
For
know,
revenge.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, yeah, I didn't see any weapons or anything. It just looked like she was, like, documenting.
Probably.
Yeah.
You just, you gotta prepare.
Yeah, spoiler, but at the end, one lady does escape.
Right.
And you're not sure if she's going to make it, and it flashes ahead a couple months, and she's, like, kind of spying on the cannibal that did make it out alive.
Right.
And she's, like, taking photos from, like, a telephoto lens while she's dressed all in black.
Right.
And I was like, okay, is she going to kill him? Like, I don't know.
She's just, building up,
Masturbation photos.
Sure, yeah. Maybe she became a detective or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, maybe.
But mostly, I think it's just she's gonna get her revenge.
Right.
Yeah. Just following them around.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, that's maybe like that is the cannibal that I enjoyed, the Charlie Day character. Like,
Yeah.
he's the one I found likable, at least.
Yeah.
And I think it's because the beginning of that movie was such a, like, awesome, like, alternative love story comedy style acting with him and Sarah Silverman
Yep.
at the candy store. And you just really, like, I'm like, oh, that's so cute and fun. And then he becomes you find out he's this horrible cannibal person. You're like,
Sure.
oh, wow, that's awful.
Yeah.
But I think maybe that's why I liked him, because, you humanized him and gave him a little funny background. You're like, I like this guy.
Yeah. I don't know. I did like the Jimmy Simpson's character as well, the other brother.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just again, it's probably mostly because I just enjoy him and stuff
Right.
when I see him.
Yeah.
And honestly, according to the movie, they're really only cannibals once a year. I mean,
Does that make it less illegal and horrifying?
it's like they know self-control.
Right?
Yeah.
Is there anything that you only do once a year that's terrible? You don't have to say what it is, but you can say yes or no.
Once a year I get broken up with. That's terrible.
Right? Yeah. Well, at least you limit it to that.
Yeah, there we go.
That's good of you.
No, once a year I celebrate Christmas with my family.
Right? Okay. Yeah.
Once a year I have a birthday, and that's pretty awful.
Well, at least you don't eat anybody on your birthday.
Not yet.
Yeah.
It's not come to that yet. Who knows? My psyche is fragile.
Yeah, right?
And people are terrible.
Right? But they might taste good with mole sauce.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I can't say that I've ever had mole sauce.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm wary of sauces in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what's in them. I don't know what this is. Is this going to taste good? Are you just covering up something horrible about the thing that's underneath it?
You're right. I like sauces. I mean, as a tofu eater, I kind of have to like sauces.
Well, sure.
'Cause tofu doesn't really have a taste unless you season it or sauce it.
Right.
But mole I've never tried just because I don't really think I want chocolate on like a hot, hearty meal.
Is that what it is?
It's like a chocolatey sauce. Yeah.
I don't want that on
See, that was the joke because the security guard was a black lady, and they were like, "Use the mole sauce."
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's funny. I guess.
Yeah, I didn't get that because I don't know what mole sauce is, and chocolate on
like Mexican food,
right? Yeah, it's like chocolate on savory. I don't get. I don't like. I don't enjoy.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, like even I like buying those like organic chocolate bars that are like orange covered chocolate or whatever. But I won't buy the ones that are like sea salt, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want that.
I don't like chocolate covered pretzels even.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike Sells, our local chip company, does chocolate covered potato
I
chips.
tried one once.
I've never even thought of trying one.
Oh, like my mom bought, because they usually come out around Christmas time.
Right.
Mostly.
That's the one horrible thing you do every year. You eat chocolate covered chips.
Well, if I did it every year, but I've only done it once.
Okay.
Because it was fucking terrible.
It doesn't sound delicious.
It's like, I mean, Mike Sells, I'm not a huge potato chip fan in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
B, Mike Sells is actually kind of one of the worst chips around. And, C, chocolate covered potato chip is not good.
I think as far as plain chips go, Mike Sells is perfect with me, but I don't like plain chips.
Right, yeah.
So I just like barbecue chips.
Right. Yeah, I'm not a huge Mike Sells fan, but I mean, I like Esther Price though, but not Esther Price on Mike Sells.
Maybe you could buy the chocolate covered chips and melt the sauce off, and give the chips to like birds or squirrels.
Or I would just buy regular Esther Price candies that weren't potato chips underneath them.
That's maybe even a better idea.
Right. But no, yeah, my mom bought a box for my sister-in-law last year, and so she tried them while she was at the house, and yeah, no thank you.
I guess I would try one, just so I can, like, understand the experience.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you my experience was that it was not good.
So, is there any gravy in this movie? Is the mole salsa gravy?
I guess, yeah.
Because they don't...
Because it, a gravy.
I kind of kept expecting them to, like, it to build up to them making a giant gravy pot.
Right.
But they don't.
No.
They just eat it, people. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the gravy implied in the movie is the human blood.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there was a lot of that.
There was indeed a lot of that. And it comes pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I vaguely remembered that I was about to go off on a rant on Cincinnati-style chili, which also has chocolate in it, but I'll table that for now.
All right.
But yeah, so these killers kidnap everybody and force them to play games.
Yeah, weird, like, sort of party games, only that involve, like, death and cannibalistic behavior.
Yeah. Or 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. And apparently he's really upset because there's an alternate version of the game where it's played with Brian Cox.
I've never heard of that.
I haven't either, but I'm sure you can play that. He's been in a lot of films.
He has been, and I like Brian Cox, but I kind of agree with him. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's Kevin Bacon.
It's the Kevin Bacon game.
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess I was kind of hoping maybe Kevin Bacon would show up somewhere in the
That would have
movie.
been funny. Yeah.
Or maybe even Brian Cox.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not above this type of movie.
He'll do anything. He
Yeah.
did a Woody Allen movie.
Right?
I mean, come on.
I mean, if Paul Rodriguez was in this movie, Brian Cox could be in this movie.
Yeah. Paul Rodriguez. What do I recognize him from?
Probably best known for the G-Men from Hell.
Yeah, that's his shining. That's his. Wow.
No, he was in like a lot of mid-'80s movies. He always played the Mexican guy.
Oh, that's right. That's why he looks familiar.
I think he was in DC Cab with Mr.
Okay.
T.
Was he like a stand-up comedian?
He was
too?
a stand-up
okay,
comedian.
that's where
Yeah,
I recognize
yeah.
him from. Yeah, because I just picture him like standing with like a brick wall behind him, and
Right.
like, yeah.
Recently, I borrowed a bunch of movies from our friend Matt Brassfield, and some of them are bootlegs. And one of the said bootlegs, like as soon as the movie was over, like it just started playing like these random trailers that I guess were burned onto the disc.
Right.
And one of them was a Paul Rodriguez movie, actually, called A Million to One.
Oh wow, I love that title.
I figured you would. And speaking of terrible puns, did you catch my favorite terrible pun in the movie?
Chris could also make you jump.
No.
Or, that was
also
great.
was hilarious as
Yeah.
well. I wouldn't say that was so much as a pun.
Kind of. I mean, like this guy gets his neck broken, so his
Right.
head's facing backwards, and somebody goes crisscross and make you jump. That was funny.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
It was towards the beginning after spoiler, Paul Rodriguez's character gets killed. His name is Chewy, and then they turn him into a dish.
Oh, the plushie joke?
No,
Okay.
they eat the dish that the chef makes out of him, and one of the cannibals says, "Well, this isn't Chewy at all."
Oh, I didn't hear that. Okay.
Oh, man.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that brings up maybe my least favorite part of this movie.
The cannibalism?
The cannibalism. The lack of CGI and cannibalism. No, I think maybe the audio wasn't recorded that well, because about 40% of it, I couldn't tell what people were saying.
I didn't notice that much so much as the music was so loud.
It was
and
very loud.
overpowering.
Oh yeah, it was very loud. Yeah.
And it just may be the copy I had. I'm not sure. But,
I don't know, because there was a lot of dialogue that just seemed like it just was recorded in such a way that it was like, maybe like if you had the script in front of you, you'd be like, okay, yeah, that's what they said.
Right.
But as like someone who is just watching the film, that's not a filmmaker on the project.
Right.
Like, there was a lot of lines that I was like, I could hear noise coming out of people's mouths, but it just seemed like garbled and weird for me.
I just have a TV. I don't have a sound system connected to it. So,
but it's a fine setup you have. I can understand most movies we watch.
right, yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it was me, but I just felt like there's a lot of sound issues in this movie.
For me, mostly it was just the music. Like, the music got so loud that it was a little obnoxious. Especially since it was like terrible 80s songs mostly.
I love this. Like, it opens with like Tears for Fears. And I was like, oh, this is nice.
Right. Yeah.
But it's fun.
It's fun. Yeah,
It's a fun movie. It's a good Halloween movie.
Yeah. A lot of good funny gags in it.
Mm-hmm.
Some hilarious lines and
Good special effects, really.
good special effects.
Like the gore effects are pretty well done.
I believe that, contrary to our conversation before we started watching the movie, that I believe they're all practical effects.
Yeah, right.
At least most of them.
It surprised me.
Yeah. I think they were done by the Greg Nicotero and Howard Berger, the guys who do the special effects for The Walking Dead, and
okay,
got their start doing like The Evil Dead and all that. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell like these guys, like the writers, were probably big movie fans, because there's a lot of movie references.
There are.
Like, obviously the Kevin Bacon game is part of the game is being played, but
Right.
There's just a lot of like little, like, I guess insults that are like movie based insults.
There were a couple that it's usually I find annoying. When like they make a blatant reference to
Another horror movie or something.
right, yeah. But I mostly give a pass to them. Like Sarah Silverman's character mentions that she's from Haddonfield, which is where Halloween took place.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that.
And the restaurant is called Raoul's, which, and then it's a movie dealing with cannibals. There's a movie called Eating Raoul.
Right, right.
There was maybe two others where just like, it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't need it. At least that wasn't like on the corner of like Carpenter and Craven Street.
Exactly. Yeah. That kind of bullshit pisses me off so much.
Right.
Like the television show The Bates Motel. I think the sheriff of the town, his name is Sheriff Romero.
Wow.
And I'm just like, oh, fuck you.
Right. Right. At least like just make him from the town that Romero sets all his movies in.
Right.
Or something, something like
Pittsburgh.
That. Right. Yeah. Isn't that like a specific section of Pittsburgh?
I don't know. We'll ask Matt Brassfield the next time.
Yeah, he's there. He's there right now.
In Pittsburgh. Yeah.
He's visiting the mall from Dawn of the Dead.
Yes, he is.
The original Dawn of the Dead.
Yep. But no, yeah. Honestly, I mean, I've seen like a lot of horror movies that pull that kind of bullshit, but the worst offenders of it are actually the shows Arrow and The Flash.
Right? A lot of like comic book creators references. Yeah.
Oh, they're on the corner of a Wolfman and a Parrow. I'm going to the Wade building on Waringo Street.
Yeah, it's like just hitting you over the head with it.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, your average viewer that's never read a comic book will have no idea, but I'm sitting there just cringing.
Right.
But like, that the writers are thinking, the fanboys will love this.
Yeah, huh? Yeah. This is for you guys.
Yeah, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an enjoyable movie.
It was enjoyable. I don't know, I feel like, I guess I would say it, I still felt it was a little lacking in places, especially with maybe, I don't know, redeemable characters and just like somebody you're rooting for and like, I don't know. Like even in movies like Dead Alive, like at the end, you're still like, yeah, there's my guy. Yeah.
Right.
But like even this, like the main girl who kind of made it through the movie, I don't know.
She was kind of the least likable of the victims.
Yeah, she wasn't, like, I mean, you're rooting for her or whatever because she's against the cannibals, but
sure.
But she's not like, there's not a lot of character to her.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, she wins the Kevin Bacon game, and so she gets the reward of being allowed to walk around, and then she like disappears for like a good 20 minutes or so, to the point where I was like, well, where the hell is she at?
Well, they said you can go to the restroom if you want. So maybe she was just peeing.
Yeah, but still, yeah. And then there's like the one pathetic character who, like he comes out of the bathroom and trips and hits his head, and then then like the cannibals like burst in and take everybody hostage.
Right. And
then he is out of the movie for like a good third of it, and then when he suddenly wakes up, it's like, there he is, and he sees everything that's happening and freaks out, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about him.
And there's a character in the movie who was like, oh, I totally forgot about that guy.
Yeah.
Thank you for at least voicing the audience's thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. It was pretty well done.
Yeah.
Like where, he's like written out for a little bit.
Right.
And it's not like you're like, well, that guy's going to be here.
Right.
Like, cause there's so much going on. You do kind of lose track of him.
Yeah. But yeah, they are our main female protagonist, our final girl.
Mm-hmm. Is it the term?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The last girl who makes it through to the end of the movie to face the killer alone or whatever. Yeah, she, like I said, she kind of disappears for a while, and like I just kind of got just like, well, where the hell did she go? And she's not super likable, at least to me. Like the other girl, like the prom queen girl, because they're all in costume,
right?
I should say. Like she, I mean, she's a bitch.
Yeah.
She's set up as a bitch, but then she also kind of has like a redeeming, like little
exactly,
turn.
Yeah, like they build her character a little more.
Yeah. Like to the point where like she gives a little speech and like kind of got a little choked up while she was giving her a little speech.
Okay,
Yeah.
Sad.
You probably couldn't hear it.
Yeah, probably. She was like, blah, 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 blah. Like, oh, that's Marlon Brando.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not winning any awards, and there's certainly better horror movies and better comedies, but it's totally okay.
Yeah, exactly. It is okay. I don't like regret watching it, but I'm not like, oh man, I have to tell everybody about this.
Right? Yeah.
Like it's fine. It's funny. I mean, there's some times that are, you genuinely laugh out loud. And, and there's some great gore effects and some good acting.
Yeah.
But overall, just all right. Yeah, just all right.
I think last year when you had your little mental breakdown, and I did the Halloween specials with fill-in hosts, I had my lovely ex and I did a movie called Stitches.
Okay.
And that to me is I watched that alone, like a while back. And it's a horror comedy as well about an evil undead clown.
Okay, I've heard of it. Haven't not seen it.
And that's one of those movies where I watched and I was like, oh man, I need to tell everybody about this
Really?
movie. Yeah.
Okay.
And like, literally, like, I had a friend over the next day and I was like, oh man, I watched this movie called Stitches. We're gonna watch it tonight.
Right? Okay.
And, this is not one of those.
Yeah.
But it's a fun movie.
Yeah.
If you see it at the video store, see it on Netflix, whatever, got nothing better to do for 90 minutes in the mood for a bloody comedy,
Yeah.
you
Why not?
could do worse.
And Dead Alive is checked out already.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Then yeah.
Or
Why not?
Shaun of the Dead.
Or
any-
Stitches.
huh?
Yeah. Or Stitches.
Or Stitches, or any of the other far superior horror comedies that exist. This one is okay.
It'll get you there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because, I'm sure I've seen some horrible ones.
Yeah.
Probably recently.
Right?
Probably from Matt Brassfield's personal collection.
Right? Our friend Matt Brassfield, for those who don't know, has, like, the biggest horror movie collection of anyone I've ever met.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of DVDs.
He has them stored in multiple locations.
Yeah, right. It's not just like, man, that room is full. It's like, no, that house and his mother's house and his friend's house are all full of his DVDs. He like, if it's a horror movie, he's not only probably seen it, but he's probably owned it, and he's probably filmed a movie that's
A lot
like his version of it. Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, good old
Yeah.
Matt Brassfield.
Matt Brassfield.
He's one of my favorite humans.
He's in my top 50.
I'd say he's in my top 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
top
bold.
5, top 5.
That's bold.
Him, Chris Elliott. I don't know who the other 3 are.
All right.
Maybe my girlfriend.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably mom.
Yeah.
And you.
Okay.
Just because you're in the room.
Well, I'll take it.
I don't want to make you feel bad.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was perfectly fine.
But you're number 5. Okay.
I assumed as much.
It goes Matt Brassfield, mom, Chris Elliott, girlfriend, you.
It's totally fair. Other than Matt Brassfield, that's probably close to my top 5.
Right?
It would be whoever's replacing Matt Brassfield, your mom, Chris Elliott, your girlfriend, and me.
Yeah. Can I replace Matt Brass?
I guess only because you're in the room.
And I'm in the room.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Seems fair.
All right.
Gravy.
Gravy.
Go see it.
It's kind of gravy.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Which
You were saving that?
I was not.
Okay.
I just thought of it.
Okay, good.
Because I also had to second guess myself. Is that actually a slang term for something that might be good?
Gravy?
I think it is.
Yeah, like the
Seems
rest is gravy. That's
Yeah,
what, like it's the
yeah,
extra. Yeah. You know, I may actually have gravy for breakfast tomorrow because Christopher's restaurant is right next door to my work, and they have a pretty good vegetarian biscuits and gravy.
Oh, yeah?
And I may stop in for that because I'm usually off Mondays, but I'm covering for somebody tomorrow, so I might treat myself and get a little bit of my favorite breakfast.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to grab a coffee on my way to work
Nice.
when I go get gas.
See, we're both living large.
Yep. All right, I'm going to take a break.
Sure.
All right.
2, 3, 4. Bacon so that
It's Halloween time.
It is Halloween time.
It's spooky.
Sorta, yeah. It's getting close anyway.
Yeah, for us here in the past, because you're hearing this in the future.
Yes.
This is the 18th of October.
Yes, it is.
So it's what, couple weeks away? Couple weeks away.
But yeah, it's a week from. It's 2 weeks from yesterday.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah,
This is kind of my favorite time of year.
yeah,
Like right before Halloween.
yeah. I enjoy the weather that's happening currently.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
I like it's cold, but it's not like terribly cold.
Right.
Yeah. And it smells good outside for the most part.
The leaves are changing color and the
Leaves
trees. It's
are-
very pretty.
Yeah, yeah,
We have a good region to live in for this time of year.
yeah. This is a good fall region.
Yeah.
Especially like if it's a sunny fall day,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still crisp out, and it's a very nice area.
It's perfection.
Yeah. Too bad most of the other time of these year it's horrible.
I don't mind it. I like the season changes.
Yeah.
I'm, just never been a big summer fan ever.
Me neither.
But yeah, I
Unless
like
I can go swimming regularly, which I can't, so I hate summer. And also, as a fat guy, I hate summer.
it. Because just hotness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're winter people.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah. Which is weird. You would think that being of Puerto Rican descent, I would be more acclimated to warmer climates in the summer. But I've also lived in Ohio all of my life. And
Right.
summers here are terrible because it's usually mostly just humid and nasty.
There was a two Puerto Rican ladies in my work the other day,
Uh-huh.
and
That's weird.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I'd never seen them before, and they were talking about something, and they're like, I get that because I'm Puerto Rican, and she like looked at me and she's like, yeah, I'm Puerto Rican, and I started to be like, I have a good friend that's Puerto Rican,
Right.
and like as if that was like somehow like, hey, yeah, look
Right,
at me.
yeah.
But then like I started realizing like if a dude was like, yeah, I get that because I'm black, I wouldn't have been like, yeah, it would have been
black guy.
it would be really weird if
Right,
I was
yeah.
like, yeah, I have a friend who's black.
Right.
And first of all, because I don't.
Right.
No, I do have black friends, but
I don't.
but it just felt weird. I was like, why in my mind is it okay to say I have a Puerto Rican friend? I didn't say it,
Right,
Because
right.
immediately my brain was like, that's kind of weird. Don't say that.
Maybe it's because I think the connotations of like, well, I have a black friend is like you're trying to almost defend yourself against being racist,
Right?
but you don't necessarily think that way when you're talking about, anybody of Hispanic culture.
Yeah, and maybe like since she specifically said. Like maybe she didn't say she was Hispanic. She said Puerto Rican.
Right, yeah.
Because if a black dude was in, he was like, I'm from Nigeria. Like,
Right.
and I had a Nigerian friend. I'd be like, hey, I have a friend from Nigeria.
I
Like,
think
maybe,
that, yeah.
maybe that's what it is.
Probably.
Maybe that's what I just figured it out.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, probably the very specific,
Yeah.
like this is where I'm from. Oh, I know somebody who also,
Right.
yeah.
Because
It's like if somebody came in and said, "Oh yeah, I used to live in Lexington," and you'd be like, "Oh, I've got a friend from Lexington."
right. Yeah. Exactly. Not like I'm a redneck asshole, and I'm like I have a redneck asshole friend.
Right? Yeah.
Okay, well, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
That's why I like talking to you. I understand me better.
You're welcome.
So any Halloween plans?
Nope.
Nothing?
Well, I guess I do have one plan.
What's that?
I will be at a comic book store annex.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Because they had to annex you away from the comics.
Right.
They knew you would just read them and pilfer them all day.
Yeah. No, there's a local comic book store and a local secondhand video game store are getting together and having a big sale on Halloween Day.
Yeah, we are. They are.
And, that's called Mavericks and GameSwap. I don't know if you've ever heard of those
I've been to both of those. I steal from both all the time.
Sweet. But yeah, they're having a big sale, and they're going to have a lot of just little events happening throughout the day. And they've got a couple of artists and local legends doing some stuff there. And I'm going to be one of those artists.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome. So people can come and get sketches by you, or
they could,
or prints or whatever.
I've got a handful of prints that I could unload and hopefully maybe make a little bit of money on that.
That'd
But
be awesome.
I'm also going to be doing free sketches.
Sweet. That is cool.
Because it's Halloween and I don't have candy to give, but I've got sketches to give.
Aw, your sketches are sweeter than candy corn.
Aww.
And better for you.
Yeah.
Arguably.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you eat them.
Fiber.
It's probably about the same.
Pretty
right?
fibrous.
Yeah, that's true.
It'll make you regular.
That ink might be poisonous, though.
The ink might be bad.
It's probably like foreign ink.
Yeah.
It's not American-made ink.
Speaking of ink, I was inking some stuff that I'm working on today, and my brush pen ran out because it got very dry brushy looking.
I love that effect.
I do too, but none of the rest of what I had inked had that effect,
Yeah.
so I kind of had to fix that. So I had to refill my brush pen and had to break out my old. One of my ex-girlfriends a long time ago gave me a box of. They're actually syringes to shoot up insulin.
Right. You don't shoot up insulin, though.
I do not yet.
Right.
Probably in my future.
Well, at least you already have the syringes.
Sure. But yeah, she gave me like a box of like 500 of them, and they're like little tiny syringes. And because she had them for her cat, who had diabetes, but then the cat passed away, so she had all these extra syringes. And turns out they are the perfect size for refilling a brush pen chamber.
Nice. So you don't have to buy extra.
Right.
You can just buy a little vat of ink.
I got a little bottle of Winsor Newton
Nice.
ink, and I just I fill up the syringe and I shoot it into the little cartridge.
That's
and,
smart.
Yeah.
I should probably do that because I have one of those Pentel
That's
manga
exactly the
pens.
kind I use. Yep.
And I did recently have to buy some refills, and it's like, I forget what it is, $10 for 2 of them or
Yep.
something. Yeah. So, yeah, I should probably
Yeah.
mimic your style there.
It's, yeah. I recommend it. I've got some syringes if you want to
Sweet.
use them.
Yeah. And if I never get around to that, I can develop a drug problem.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's always fun, too.
Yeah. Either way, I will make use of those syringes.
I did kind of want to take a picture because, I filled up the syringe and it's just a syringe full of black liquid. And just wanted to take a picture of it. It's like about to shoot up.
My black tar heroin. Yeah.
But yeah, Halloween, I'll be at the Mavericks Annex doing sketches for people.
That's cool. Yeah.
And,
That's where we recorded number 300 of the podcast.
That is, indeed. Yeah.
Cool.
But this is going to be much more exciting than that. 'Cause,
Possibly.
I guess. I don't know. I'll be there from 5 to 7, so there'll be pretty much nothing exciting happening there.
I think Baron von Portshop, that's his time to be there too.
I thought it said from like 7 to 8 that he was
Oh,
going to be
okay.
there. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he'll be there right around the time I'm leaving.
Right.
But I'm probably not going to leave because what the hell would I?
And he'll get there early. He's Baron von Portshop.
That's
What
true.
else is he doing? It's Halloween.
There's that.
Yeah.
And he is also incredibly punctual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't get to be a Baron by being late.
Exactly.
You know? I mean, he's the late Baron because he's been
dead.
dug up from, but he's not late in the figurative sense.
No, he is always on
Just
time,
in the
if
literal.
not really early.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting. Yeah, I'll be there as well, punching numbers in the cash register and bagging magic together in packs.
No, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, no, it'll be fun.
Alright.
And whatever else, I'm sure we'll sell some comics too.
Sure. Yeah.
Because it's Halloween Comic Fest,
Right.
which is basically like, it's like 3 or 4 years in now. I think 3 years in.
I have no idea. I've never heard of it before now.
This is the first year they've really gave it a big advertising push.
Okay.
But they've had free comics the last 2 years, but they were just like, the first year was just like literally maybe like 4 different mini comics, and like it was like an Archie and a couple other things.
Vaguely remember somewhere getting a free itty bitty Hellboy.
Yeah, that might have been. Yeah, I think that might have been last year. And yeah, and then last year I guess it got a lot bigger, and then this year it's like way bigger too. They're trying to kind of groom it into a second, like the little brother of free comic book day. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, well, I wish you guys luck, mostly because I'm going to be there. And I have a stake in this.
Right?
And maybe I can sell a print or two and buy dinner that night.
I'm sure you can.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I have some Hellboy prints and my Super Fiends print.
Oh, I love the Super Fiends.
Me too.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Anything else on Halloween?
I don't think so. Like, there's an episode of Baron von Porkchop's Terrifying Tales of the Macabre that airs Halloween night.
Yeah. And
I make a cameo appearance in that. So
nice.
That'll be cool. It's on DATV or, on various websites or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, other than that, I'll probably carve a jack-o'-lantern and, that's about it.
Yeah. Halloween's on Saturday. We doing drawing night?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, you'll be warmed up already.
Sure, it's true.
By the time we start.
And I won't have any stupid pressing deadlines
Right? Yeah.
that are causing me to nearly die.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You done anything else this week, or
Golly, no. No.
Nothing big. Didn't go to any comic conventions or anything.
Oh yeah, yeah. Wow. Good prompting. I was like, oh my god. I don't believe so. Yeah, I did a comic convention yesterday. Wow. What is wrong with me? It was called Suburbicon. It's the second year they've done it. It's right here in Dayton or Kettering. And, it was like a small press comic show at a local art center that does a lot of like classes and exhibits for local artists and things like that. And I guess one of the guys that works there is really into comics, and he's a painter himself. And he, put on this comic show, and it was pretty fun. Like, I sold one comic book, and it was to another exhibitor, who I already knew before.
Right.
Like, used to talk to him all the time. But, it was really fun though. It was cool. I was right in between two people that I really like, Kevin Atkins and Bruce O'Hughes. And so we got to talk the whole day. And there's a lot of cool Star Wars people in costume, and there's this tiny little kid. I know his name was Trent because his cape said Super Trent, and he was going around and constantly hugging like the Stormtrooper, the TIE Fighter pilot, the Jawa, and the Death Star gunner. And he was like, he would hug one and run immediately to the other one and hug them. And it was like, I mean, he's only like 3 or 4,
Right.
So it was super adorable.
It's a little weird that he's super into the Empire.
He is. Well, there was no rebels there. I'm sure if there was a Chewbacca, he would have hugged him too. Well, the Jawa had a C-3PO head that they had turned into a purse. Like it was an upside down C-3PO head and like hollowed out, and like, it was like on a chain around his shoulder, and he was carrying stuff in it. I was like, that's pretty cool. And the eyes were still lit up on the C-3PO. Right. So yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see that future Republican is already embracing his destiny.
Yeah. Because he kept hugging, like the Empire people, and Bruce O'Hughes, our buddy, was right next to me and at the table. His dad was like, I'm so surprised he's so into these scary looking bad guys, and Bruce goes, he's a loyalist. I was like, that's pretty funny. So yeah, it was a good time. Like I said, I didn't sell anything, but I traded some artwork to another artist for some of his artwork, and I traded some books for some books, and had some free pizza. And the table, they comped the tables to the artists, so and that was free, so that was nice.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. But that's pretty much the extent of my activities, unless you remember something else fun that I did.
I know you, speaking of art trades, you kind of got a piece of art earlier in the
I
week.
did, yeah. I have a friend who is quite an artist for his age, and
How old is he?
He's 6 years old.
There we go.
And he's drawn stuff for me for years. Like, I have stuff in a sketchbook that he did when he was like 3 and 4. His dad is a local comic artist, Tim Hall, and we were neighbors at a small press show in Columbus a few years ago. And this kid was just like crawling around behind the table, and I was like, "You want to draw my sketchbook?" And he drew like this weird potato guy in my sketchbook. I was like, "That was pretty good, actually." And then I've seen other art by him now, and it's like kind of intricate, and like it has like explanations for what's going on, and
right.
you can understand. Like, you can look at it and be like, "Oh, that's a pile of money, and that's
right.
a ghost," and and so I had him draw Freddy Krueger for me.
Yeah.
And he was unfamiliar with Freddy Krueger, but he loves horror and he loves scary things. Like, I asked his dad, I was like, while the son Cohen wasn't around, I was like, is it okay to have him draw Freddy Krueger for me? Because we'd been talking about me having him draw something.
Right.
He's like, oh, that's fine. I was like, I mean, that's not like too scary. And he's like, oh no, he's like, he was drawing ISIS earlier today. And I was like, oh, okay.
What's wrong with ISIS?
Oh, they're kind of scary.
She's like the female Shazam.
Oh, that one. The DC Comics ISIS.
So yeah, what are you talking about?
The scary militant group.
I'm not
Headloppers. Okay.
No, I know the comic Headlopper.
Yeah.
I
That's a
actually
nice
got the
looking.
first issue.
That's a really nice looking book. Did you see the Raphael Grandpa?
I got the
variant?
Raphael Grandpa variant cover
He's
for that.
he's awesome.
Yeah.
But he's no Cohen Hall.
No.
Yeah, when Cohen Hall is as old as Raphael Grandpa, he's going to be much better than Raphael Grandpa. I do believe it. But yeah, so I got this awesome piece of Freddy Krueger art by Mr. Cohen Hall.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited.
Well, I was probably around his age when I saw Nightmare on Elm Street for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was, probably me too. Maybe a little bit older.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had to trade him. I was like, well, what do you charge for a drawing? And he goes, for you? He's like, free. And I was like, no, I want to pay you something. I want to, give you, I was like, I can give you store credit if you want to, if there's something you want to buy at the store. Cause he buys comics and
Right.
Pokemon cards and he looked around and he came up with, a Walking Dead, the governor figure. And he asked if he could trade
TV
it.
or comic?
TV.
Okay.
Yeah. He asked if he could trade for that, and I said, sure. So, which I actually still haven't paid for.
Well, yeah.
But I wrote it down on my, store credit. I'm in the negative.
Right.
It was like $16.
Yeah.
But hey, it's totally worth it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And you've taught this young artist that he needs to value what he does,
Yeah.
so that he does not get scammed in the future
See.
by anybody willing to take advantage of his artistic abilities, thinking that, well, you're an artist, you'll just do this for free for exposure.
Right. I know.
Right.
I should be his agent in the future.
You should.
20%.
You should be my agent.
Yeah. Mr. Sean Boyne will work for no less than a carded Walking Dead action figure per illustration.
There we go.
You'd have the whole set by now.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's been my excitement.
Well, that's good.
So I don't know, should I pick a comic then?
You should probably pick a comic.
Okay.
I don't know when I'm going to have a chance to read it,
Right.
but yes.
Maybe I should pick one of those old 60s Marvel comics that was turned into a 60s Marvel cartoon where they animate it. That way I can just read it and you can just watch it
Sure,
or
right.
listen to it while you draw.
Yeah.
No, I know most likely this show is going to go like our next show. I mean, we'll go up after Halloween probably.
I think so. Yeah.
But it's still for us it's still Halloween.
Yeah,
And there's a sort of Halloween-ish comic that I really want to read.
Okay.
That I've started and I haven't finished it. So I figured maybe you would want to do the same.
Okay.
It's called Frankenstein Underground.
Okay.
That's. I think you probably own these.
I do.
Okay, so even better.
Might have a similar problem that I did with Trillium. I think I vaguely know where they're at.
Right.
Can't guarantee that I can find them all.
Okay.
But I do remember purchasing each one.
Well, if not, I do own them all, and I know exactly where they're all at.
All right.
So, I mean, you need a. If you hire me as your agent, I could also double as your comic book filer sorter.
I could definitely use that for sure. Yeah. Yeah, Frankenstein Underground. That's Mike Mignola wrote it.
Yeah, he just wrote it, and shoot, forget who drew it. I know Dave Stewart colored it.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the artist.
Is it Ben Steinbeck?
I think so. Yeah.
I know he works with Mignola quite a bit.
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't know for sure. I know Mignola did covers.
Yeah, and the interior art is quite nice.
I'm sure it is. Yeah, Frankenstein Underground.
Cool.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on the board.
Yeah, a little bit of Halloween reading material for us.
Yeah, that should be fun.
And maybe you guys can read it too. It's a 5-issue series.
It is indeed.
There's no trade yet, but
yeah.
I'm sure you can still find them. It's fairly new.
Yep. Sounds good.
Cool.
Alrighty then.
Well, till next time.
Till the next time, indeed. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Gutter Trash. You can subscribe to the show from guttertrash.net or from iTunes and leave us a review. Visit guttertrash.net for email information and for other podcasts and websites in the Gutter Trash Network. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.